Good morning. Welcome to Word Study Wednesday. That's my funny little thing I decided to add. We are diving into our vocabulary day and we are looking at Latin roots. Let's just review the ones we've done quickly. Agua, on, od, bene, bi. And today we are jumping in to three different roots, and two of them are extremely important to us for the English language to help with math, social studies, science. These roots are used a lot in English, so these are really important. Let's look at the first one, and in Latin it's pronounced Kent. Okay, and a lot of times they will add the ending, and it would be kentum, and it means 100. So you should be very familiar with this word. In the English language, think of our money, cent, percent, centigrade, centimeter, and then think in terms of nature, centipede, and in a little history, centurion. So let's go through these quickly. Century to us usually means 100 years, okay? But it really means a set of 100. So it can be a set of 100 of anything. It could be a collection of 100 poems, a group of 100 soldiers. Like centurion means a Roman military officer that was over 100 men, okay? Let's look at centigrade. This is interesting because it's a compound. It has cent, meaning 100, and then it has gradus, where we changed it to grade, but gradus means a step or a degree. So it's 100 degrees, and for us that's a temperature measurement where there's 100 degrees between the freezing and the boiling points, and that's why we measure in science in centigrade. See, when you know what the word means, it helps to understand the concepts in the subject. Let's look at centimeter. Now, metron means measure, so we have another compound word. Cent meaning 100, and metron meaning a measure. So it's 100th of a measure, or 100th of a meter. So we now understand why we call that measurement centimeter. And then percent, just sticking with the math theme here. Percent is very interesting because, again, it is a compound word. So it has per and cent, and per means through. So it's a number of parts in every 100. So you're going through the 100. And so it helps us to understand why we would say percent, like 10 cents is 10% of a dollar. Cent is 100th of a dollar, which means it's going through 100. So it's 10% of 100. So just the vocabulary word alone tells us the meaning in terms of the math as well as the scientific understandings. And this, again, just to emphasize why it's so important to know the heritage of our language and be able to know the roots so that we can decode our own English words. This is why Latin in general is so important to learn. And translating and parsing and declining Latin helps us then to understand our own English language. Okay, get off the soapbox, Miss Stacy. Go back on to scent or Kent in Latin. There's a lot of words that are in the English language. I've just picked a few. One of them that I thought was interesting is the word centipede. It has two different meanings. One, probably thinking along nature, are those bugs, right? Which appear to have about 100 legs or feet. And did you know they come in all shapes and sizes? Some of them can go up to 8 or 10 inches long in tropical countries. So, why in the world did we name them centipedes? Well, in the Webster's Dictionary, centipede says they are of active, predaceous, and nocturnal habits. Okay, meaning that they keep very busy at night and mostly they prey on, fortunately for us, other insects. And that's what a centipede means. So it has about 100 legs. But there's another centipede, and it's used in terms of the railroad. It's a locomotive, railroad engine, which has a pilot called a cowcatcher and one truck wheel in front of its cylinders and 6 big driving wheels behind it. So it's not for express passenger trains, but it's for really heavy freight. And if you look up locomotive, you can see all arrangements, but one particular locomotive is centipede. Okay, cool word, lots of meaning in the English language. All right, we'll go to the next one. This one's pronounced kirkum, kirkum, and it means around. And again, we get a lot of cool words that we're very familiar with kirkum. We get the word circle, which notice that it's dropped the UM ending and added the LE. So a circle is a shape that's, you guessed it, around. So here's another great word where kirkum and then vent have come together, circumvent. And that's one I want you to look up. That's a great word. It's used in a lot of contexts, and it's a great vocabulary word to have in your arsenal of words to use in your speech and in your writing. And then another one, circus. And notice they dropped the M and added the S. And it all deals with things in a round. Think about a circus and how it's organized in the different round spheres and how it operates. Okay, our next real big one that a lot of words come from in the English language, and this one has a bit of interesting history. It has changed throughout the years. The original version is cum. So notice that we had kirkum. Well, this is its own root, cum. And through the years, it changed to cone, co, cole, and comb. And a lot of reasons for that we're going to talk about in just a second. But cum means, or all these, mean with or together. So if you have cooperate, you have the co, and then you have operate. So together, work, because operator or operatum means to work. So cooperative or cooperative, another word we're familiar with, means with or together we work. Another one, collaborate. Laboro, or laboratum means to work as well. It's a synonym. So if we collaborate, again, we are working with one another. Now, one of the things that's really good about understanding the roots is that you then learn how to spell the words in your own English language, because you start to understand why you have to double the consonants. And so I just want to go over that quickly with you. Basically, the words are keeping their own form. So coal keeps its form, and then labor or laboro, notice it keeps its form. So it's a compound word, and that's why the L's are doubled. Same thing with cooperate. Co is a root, and operate is a root. So that's why we double the O. And so forth, like with commemorate, community, committee, because like mito means send. So we have com, C-O-M, and mitti, we spell M-I-T-T-E-E, but the original was M-I-T-T-O. So it's keeping its root word forms. And that's why committee has two M's and two T's. And when we end at the end, you know that we have to double the E with the consonants coming before it to make the E sound. So the silent E job is functioning there. See how helpful this can all be? Okay, quit rolling your eyes. Anyway, let's look at a couple more before we go. Let's look at the word collect. So col meaning with or together, and lego or lectum means to gather. So to collect means with gathering or gather together. Collect your thoughts, collect your toys. Combat. Batuo means to beat or fight, right? So com is with, so we're fighting with something or someone. We are in combat. Commemorate. So memoro or memoratum means to remember. So we are remembering something together. We are commemorating your birthday. We are commemorating an anniversary. Notice how these are all root words that are being put together to form a compound word in the English language. Community. Okay, well, we have the root com, and we have another root, munitum or munio, to build or fortify. So a community is a group that builds or fortifies together. So it's a community, a group which builds together. All right, two more. Content, con meaning with or together, and teneo or tentum meaning to hold. So we are content, and that's a big one in our Bible. We are content, meaning we are held together. Last one that I wanted to go, and you could find many, many more in the English language, but confection. Okay. Again, we have con, with or together, and then we have fect or faccio or factum, which means to do or make. So a confection is made together. And so the sweets that we call confections, now we know why we call them confections. All right, that is our vocabulary lesson for today. Make sure that tomorrow you start building your vocabulary sheets, and you can use this recording as a reference. And then on Monday, when you practice these three, make sure that you are spending some time reviewing the ones you've already learned, and you can keep building your vocabulary. I think you're going to be surprised if you do that, how much your vocabulary is going to grow. And when you're reading literature books or science books or history text, and you come across a big word like maybe confection or commemorate, you'll be able to break it down. And within the context of the sentence, along with what you know of the root words, I bet you'll be able to figure out what the word means without having to go to the dictionary. All right, y'all have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.